Welcome to Chapter 3, Excel, working with large worksheets, charting, and what-if analysis. Now, this is a great chapter. It sounds scary, but it's really not that bad. The only thing that causes people stress is the absolute cell reference. And if you just remember the word be still, then you've got it great. So don't worry about that. It's all good. And we are going to turn to page 135 and we're going to type in, and this is all very basic. The beginning of this is something that you absolutely know how to do. So page 135, Excel chapter 3, open Excel and open a blank worksheet. And you know me, I like to save first and save often. So we're going to save. And since I haven't gotten to the name yet, we are going to call it last name, first initial, Excel chapter 3. And then when we get to the name, you're welcome to change it to that name. Do a save as to change it. The name is incredibly long on this one, so totally your choice. Select cell A1, then type Ch3a. So I'm at number 1 on page 135. So Ch3a. All one word. Remember that it spills over. This looks like it's in A and B, but obviously it is not in B. Alright, so that's a spillover. Then we're going to click in cell A2 and we will type 6-month financial projection. Then it says apply the slice theme to the workbook. So we will go to page layout and to click on themes and then slide down to slice. Now, once again, Microsoft has been having trouble with their themes. So if you do not have a slice theme, then you need to make sure that your font is Century Gothic. You see that? Century Gothic is the font for both your body and your headings. Alright, so next thing, turning the page. On page 136, it says to click in cell B3. Now, in cell B3, we're going to type the word April. Alright. Now I'm going to hit the check mark enter because I want to leave this cell as I want to leave my cursor in this cell because I'm going to copy it across, and just like it changed the headings for us in chapter 1, I believe, we can also grab this across and it will do the months just like it did the days in chapter 1. And we want to go clear to September, and notice that you do have the screen hint, and see where it says September, so you know exactly where to stop. Alright, next we want to turn them slantways. So if you come up to orientation, that's in the alignment bank, slide up to orientation, click on the down arrow and hit angle counterclockwise. Alright, excellent, piece of cake. I do want to show you another way. There are 2 other ways to do this, or to get to this. You can click on the down arrow here, go to format cell alignment, and that takes you to the old school menu, and you can grab this and turn it, or you could choose 45. That works also, and as far as I don't care what you use, as long as you do something, and unless it's Sam. Also, another way is the same thing for all the others. If you want the old school menu, all you have to do is click on this box in the bottom right hand corner of the bank and you get the old school menu, and you can do it by hand this way also. Whatever makes you happy. Alright, so now technically anything we type in these next couple of cells, it should also slant them. Now notice I said technically and should. That means that sometimes it doesn't actually work, but it should. So we're going to type total in H3. Then in I, we're going to type chart, and I'm so excited that it actually worked for me. If it didn't work for you, all you have to do is click in there, click on this menu, and choose angle counterclockwise. No big deal. Alright, it's called We Be Flexible. Okay, so now the next thing on page 140 wants you to set the column width to a specific width. Now, I'm just telling you now, I'm not checking your specific widths. That's crazy in real life. Who's going to tell you that? But you never know. However, in real life, it also might be kind of cool to make sure that all of your columns are the same width. And that's why I'm going to show you this real quick. You can slide in between the two columns, and notice where it tells me that right now column B is 8.10 or 88 pixels. Alright, now you can select all your columns like this, and then if you grab and drag, it makes them all the same width. Cool? Okay. And also another thing you can do is if you go to Format Cells, you can go to column width here. Notice they're all selected, and you can actually type in, let's see, the book is saying 14.5, and I really don't care, but 14.5 for the column width, and say OK. Alright, and those are kind of some cool things that might save you some time, but then I'm telling you, as long as I can see all your numbers and it looks nice and professional, I am not going to go through each one of these columns to make sure that you have exactly 14.5. Alright, just letting you know. Alright, so then on page 140 at the bottom, it has to enter and indent row titles. So we are going to click in row 4, column A. So row 4, column A, and we are going to type in a revenue. Hit enter. Now, cost of goods sold is indented, so just like in Word, you can do the increase indent, and it doesn't matter if you do it before or after. So I'm going to do it before just so you see that you can. And I'm going to type cost of goods sold. So see how it went ahead and indented it for me right away. Okay, oops. Alright, hit enter, and when you hit enter, technically, it should go all the way back to the left. Technically. Again, if it doesn't, then we just move it back. So gross margin, and yay, mine worked. If yours did not work, you can choose the decrease indent, and it'll push it back over. But notice that the decrease indent only works when your cursor's not flashing inside the cell. If it's flashing inside the cell like this, that is called an active cell, and you can't do any formatting as long as it's active. If I hit escape, it's no longer an active cell, it's just the cell that is selected. Okay? Now, because it drives me crazy to have all this stuff on top of each other, I am going to double click in between the A and the B. Alright, and then when we're done, we can fix it however the book tells us to fix. And it will give us all kinds of formatting stuff at the end, so why waste a bunch of time doing exactly what they're asking for in formatting now? Alright, so the next thing we want to do is in A8, we're going to type expenses. And in real life also, I don't format till I'm done. Okay, so expenses in 8. And I'm looking actually at figure 3-11 on page 140. Okay, so expenses. Now, notice that A9 through A13 are all indented. We can type it. So let's say we type bonus, and we have to do the green check mark, and then we can indent it. Okay, you can do that, or you can do them all at once. So for the rest of them, I'm just going to leave them to the left, commission, and then I will indent them, because to me, why do it 6 times when you can do it once, right? Saves you at least a fraction of a second, correct? Repair and maintenance. All right, so I'm going to select commission through equipment repair and maintenance and hit the increase indent, and it moves them all over to the right, and that is beautiful. And then I'm going to click in 14, and technically it should go back to the left, and it looks like it's going to. So total expenses in A14. All right, I did not. So make sure you catch stuff like that, and I'm going to hit decrease indent. There you go. So just be aware that sometimes random things happen. No big deal, just be flexible and fix it. All right, and notice, so always make sure you're double checking. Now on, let's see, the next thing we're going to type in A16, operating income. So operating, operating income. All right, hit enter, and look at that. It is still indenting my stuff, but that's okay. I saw it. So we're going to decrease indent. All right, operating income, and then we're going to save, because remember, save and save often. You never know what's going to happen. And in 141, we are going to copy some stuff. So first, before we copy, we're going to click in A18 and type what dash if assumptions. And I'm looking at figure 3-12. Okay, now we are going to copy these expenses, the titles, to the what if assumptions. And there's several ways. And so we've already learned how to right click and copy somewhere in here. Right click and copy. You've also learned how to copy from here, correct? And you've also learned how to Control C to copy. I'm going to show you one more nifty cool thing that you can do. Okay, this is not in the book. This is not in SAM. For me, I love it because it's a really quick way if it's a close copy. So once you select it like this, hold your Control key down. Now see my white plus sign? Check this out. When I slide down, do you see how it pops to the arrow and the plus sign? All right, when it does that, hold down your left mouse button and then grab and drag. And actually we're going to put this in A19 and drop it. Let go of your mouse button, let go of your Control key, and there you go, you've got a copy. And that works in Word also, and it works in everything for Microsoft Office. Great time saver, great time saver. I love it. Okay, that's a freebie. All right, so next, after we've typed that, we are going to turn the page. And on page 142, it tells us to do what we've already done. 143, it gives you all the pictures of the different paste options. These are kind of cool. You really should read those and check those out so you notice the different things that you can do. It would save you some time. Next, we're going to insert a row. So we're supposed to insert a row between bonus and commission. So what we're going to do, we're going to right click row 20. Notice I get my shortcut menu, and all I have to do is click on insert. All right, so whenever you want to insert a row, it will, whatever you've got it selected, it will move your stuff down and it'll paste it in, insert that row in between. All right, so with that, you're going to click in A20 now. And technically, it should have done exactly the same formatting, because it's in between two cells that are formatted the same. So technically, it should format it exactly the same. And we're going to type in here sales revenue for bonus. Okay? Sales revenue for bonus. There you go. Now next, we want to insert something above bonus. In this case, we're going to right click bonus this time and insert. So it's going to shove bonus down, and in 19 we're going to type in margin. Now here's the scoop. Technically it should keep the same formatting that was in row 19 before, but since row 18 is formatted to the left and row 19 was indented, it could be either. Alright, so now you're at a 50-50 chance of what it's going to do. So you definitely need to check it. So we're going to type margin and hit enter. Notice mine stayed to the left. No big deal. We're just going to hit increase indent and voila, everything is great, and we are going to save. Now I do want to show you a shortcut, another freebie. The book just shows you how to insert one cell. Okay, do not do this to yours. I just want to show you that you can. Let's say that we wanted to insert 3 rows instead of just 1. If you select 3 rows, right click and insert, it will insert 3 rows. So however many rows or columns, it works with columns too, you want to insert, just select that many and that's how many you'll put in here. That's so much better than doing one, you know, forever and ever, and it takes forever. So why? Alrighty. So then on page 146, it actually tells you to save. Now you can keep the Excel chapter 3 title if you would like. If that bothers you, the for real name is supposed to be Froyo. I'm looking at number 4 on page 146. Froyo to go financial projection. Remember, last name, first initial, always. Ooh, and I just found a mistake. Did I tell y'all that anytime I find a mistake, even something as simple as not having a capital letter, it's 2 points off. So make sure you look at your stuff, and since I copied it, oh my goodness, it's there too. Alright, so make sure you double check everything before you upload it and turn it in to me. Alrighty then. So the next thing on page 147, we're going to type in several different numbers. And I'm going to tell you that you need to format them after you're done. It makes life a whole lot easier. So I'm going to double click to make it a little bit wider here. I'm going to click in margin. Okay. Now, we're actually going to type the percent sign because we're typing in 77.5. If you don't want to take the time to type the percent sign, you can type in 0.775 and then format it as a percent when we're done. Whatever makes you happy. I'm just going to type what is in the book, so 77.5 and then percent, which is the shift in the 5. Notice I did not type the 0. The book just assumed I wanted 2 decimal places. That is totally cool. Alright, so next is 5,000. Remember, do not type the zeros. Just do 5 and 3 zeros and hit enter. And notice it did not format it with a comma and the 2 decimal places, but that's okay. We're going to fix it here in a second and it will be so much faster. In B20, you're going to type in 60,000, so it's 6 with 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. Hit enter. Alright. Then next we want 30%, so I'm going to type 30 and percent. I am not going to type the 0.00. We can add all that when we're done. Okay. And then next we're going to type in 10%, so 10 with the percent sign. Hit enter. And then we're going to type 5%, so 5%. Enter. And lastly, it's going to be 4%. Alright, now these all need 2 decimal places, so we're going to select them, slide up here to the right, and we want to choose increase decimal, and you're going to hit once and twice. Okay, so now they all have 2 decimals, piece of cake. Now we're going to select B20 and 21, and we need to have a comma with 2 decimals, and remember that the comma formatting automatically adds a comma and 2 decimals. So piece of cake. There you go. Alright, hit save. And then on page 148, we are going to type in the information for the revenue for each of these months. You can read the directions in number 2 or look at the picture in figure 3-18. Remember, do not type the commas and the periods. We're going to format it and let the computer do it for us. Why do all that work? So 45,000 with 1, 2, 3 zeros, correct? 1, 2, 3. We're going to let the computer do the 0.00. In C4, it's 52,000, so 52 and 1, 2, 3, and hit tab. June is 67,500, so type 6, 7, 5, and 2 zeros, tab. July is 90,000, 90, 1, 2, 3, and tab. And August is 77,500, so 77500, and tab. September is G, 63,750, so 63750, and tab. There you go. Now notice that none of them have our 2 zeros. That's okay. We don't really care. We can format it when we're done. Okay? Now the total, y'all remember how to do auto sum, right? So if you just double click auto sum, it should do the right thing. And for me, it's not happy. So I'm going to select exactly what I want to sum. So sum B4 through G4, and you get to enter or click on the check mark. And you should have 395,750 if you've done it right. Now, if this is driving you crazy, you can select all this and do the comma thing. All right. You are going to format it. The book does have a bunch of formatting for it later in the book. But if it's driving you crazy, you can absolutely go ahead and do that, because I know some people want it to look exactly like the book, which is good. That's good. All right. So next, we are going to put in today's date. So to add the date, you first are going to click in H1. And you won't just type in today's date. You are going to use a function to do that. It is called the now function. To do that, to get to the now function, you're going to click on the FX, insert function. Click on FX. Now, there's 2 places. Well, actually, there's 3 ways to get to it. If it is in your selected function, these are the most recently used functions. Notice mine's right there, now. If yours is not there, you can just type the word now here in the search a function. Whoops, now, like that, and do search a function. Or you can also click down here, and for this would be a date and time function. You can also go to date and time and then slide down. These are in alphabetical order, so just slide down to the now. So whatever makes you happy, there you go. However you want to get to it, there you go. So then click on the now function and then click on OK. Notice that every time there's a function, it tells you exactly what that function does. In this case, the now function returns the current date and time formatted as a date and time. And this function takes no argument, so there's nothing you click on at all. But notice that the formula result is volatile, which means not that it's going to explode, but that it will change every time you open the spreadsheet. So when I grade this, number 1, I'm going to look for equal now as in there. Okay, if you have the date typed in, it's wrong. All right, and an even easier way for me to grade it is that when I open it, it will reflect the date of the day I'm opening it. So make sure that you are using the function. So now we're going to click on OK. Notice that it returns the date and the time. For the book, we only want the date in here, not the time. So you are going to format this as a date. There are a couple of different ways you can date only, so you're going to get rid of the time. If you do right click and choose format cells, that is one way to get to the menu. You can also click on this menu here and go to number, which it brings up this menu like this, and we're going to choose number. Or you click on the down arrow here and choose date. Now, it's custom right now, and technically we're going to learn how to edit formats in the full semester of Excel. You could just delete the HMM here and you'd be good. But we're going to do it the right way. So click on date. We want to get rid of the time. Now this shows, with what we have selected, it shows you what it will look like, which is the date without the time. It's exactly what we want. So you're going to make sure that the example 3/14/2012, notice that it has 4 numbers for the date, not the 2 number date, but the 4 number date. And then we are going to say okay. And I'm just double checking on that. Yes. Say okay. Notice that the time is gone and all you have is the date. Notice in the formula bar, all it says is equal now. If it has anything else, then it's wrong. Alright, hit save. And according to the book on page 151, it is a great time for a break. So I will see you back in just a minute.